is incredible. I can tell the reality you have embraced by what you say. I didn't say by what you pray. I said by what you say. Because most of us cancel out our prayers with our post-prayer words. Father, help me, give me a job. I believe you're going to give me a job. This economy is so hard. There are no jobs. So the angel is coming from heaven with a job. Then you say, economy is so hard. I say, economy is so hard. Because every word you say is a prayer. You're not praying to God or to the devil, and both of them answer prayers. I can tell what you're seeing by what you say. Most of us shout it, I'm just being real. Yeah, I can tell you're being real because that's the reality you're paying attention to. I'm just being real. It's just a joke. Nah, it's not really a joke. The Bible says, no, you're going to be accountable for every word you say. You're not going to go to heaven and be like, oh, it was a joke. I'm just playing around. Yeah, we don't do playing around here. We thought when you said this headache is going to kill me, that you meant it. So why are you here? I don't know. Okay, check. Oh yeah, 3 minutes ago you said this headache will kill me. That's why you're here. I can tell what you see by what you say. The Bible says a very great example. Romans chapter 4. Verse 17. This is the writer of Romans is showing us, giving us an insight into the relationship and the promise between Abraham and God. As it is written, verse 17, I have made you, God is saying, I've made you, Abraham, the father of many nations. In the presence of him, that is God, whom he believed, Abraham believed, God, who gives life to the dead. God, who calls those things which do not exist as though they did. The one, Abraham now, that's finished with God, talking about Abraham. Abraham, contrary to hope, in hope believed, so that he became the father of many nations, according to that which was spoken. So God says something, he believes, and the Bible says he becomes that. According to what was spoken, so shall your descendants be. Verse 19, how did he do that? And not being weak in faith, the Bible says he did not consider his own body already dead, since he was about 100 years old, or the deadness of his wife's womb. The Bible says, another word consider there means to perceive, to understand, to observe. It means to consider attentively, to fix your eyes or your mind on something. That means Abraham did not spend time considering what has to happen for me to become a dad. You know, I'm young, so I need to really get a rejuvenation in my spirit. And Sarah's womb is dead. So there's going to have to be like a 6-month process where we just give her vitamins and vitamins and vitamins so that then her blood can now get pumping. And he's not interested in the promise. If God said, I'm going to be the father of many nations, all I have to do is believe. Because he said most of us are so logical that we use logic to block God from us. If I'm going to get the job, that means my resume has to be right. If I'm going to get the job, that means the way I present, maybe it's the way I dress, maybe it's my hair, maybe it's my race, maybe... Who cares what the opposition is? If God says you're going to get it, he's able to call things that be not as though they were. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Abraham did not consider. God checked my heart recently. I was driving. We're looking for space for our church. I'm just thinking, I was like, man, we have this amount of money saved, blah, blah, blah. And God says, I feel like you're thinking you're going to get the building based on the amount of money you have saved. And I was like, no, when God asks you the question, you don't know whether it's a yes or no thing. You're like, like, yeah, it's not going to be about what you've done. I'm going to do it regardless of what you've done. No, you have to understand, when God makes you a promise, He's just asking you to obey. Believe and obey. Yes. So if God says I'm a father of many nations, that's what I'm focusing on. I'm not focusing on the process it's going to make me a father of many nations. If God says, the Bible says, He gives dead things and brings dead things to life, I'm not focusing on the process. I'm focusing on what He says. If he says he calls things that be not as though they were, that means if the job is not already there, he can pull out the job from the air and make it available for me. Do you understand? It's not about the process. What are you considering? What are you? The Bible says he did not consider the deadness of his body. He did not pay attention to it. I know, yes, the child is dead. The body is cold, yes. The dream is dead, yes. The job is gone, yes. But the man of God is in town, yes. There's a room where he prays to God, yes. That room has a bed, yes. So I will drop the child there, also yes, and I will turn around and walk away. Why? As much as there is a dead child, there is also a living God.